Hello and welcome, and today I'm going to take you through a Canva tutorial as requested to take you through how I create my design concepts. Before I do that, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Claire O'Connell. I'm the beating heart behind Reno Way of Life, and this is the channel for you if you love everything to do with home, like design, renovating, and DIY. So make sure you hit subscribe, hit that bell button so you never miss a video. Otherwise, let's head into Canva. Hello and welcome. So today I want to show you how to create a design concept in Canva. So canva.com is a really easy to use, user-friendly program. It's online. You can have a free account. I have a pro account just because I use it all the time for socials. Some of the things that I'm going to be showing you, you might need a pro account for, like removing the background of pictures, those sorts of things. So it's up to you to decide if you want that. But really today's lesson is just to show you how you can go about creating a design concept. So there's two things that you can create. You can create a mood board or a design concept. So a mood board is really about creating an inspiration board. So you can have pictures of, it could be the ocean because they're the color schemes that you want. And it's really just a visual representation of what you're wanting to achieve within your space. Whereas a design concept that I'm going to take you through today is where we start to piece together the room itself. So what we want to achieve is actually to take screen grabs of the actual items that you want to have in your room. You can put them all together to make sure that they go. And the reason we do that is because you might have a particular color scheme in mind. And so you might want sage green cabinetry, wood countertops, and then you might be going for a gray, a gray splashback or backsplash tile. But when you put it all together, you're like, oh, actually, I don't really like this all together. And then when you add the lights in, you're like, okay, this doesn't work. It's not cohesive. So a design concept allows you to put all of those pieces together and make sure that that's going to work for you. So what I do is I just create a blank Instagram post. You can come here to home, to templates, and you can pick whatever size you want. You can also create a design here and put in a custom size, but I mean, for the sake of simplicity, I just use the template for an Instagram post. So what we're going to do is we're going to upload our pictures. Now you'll have to excuse me because I have been using Canva for quite some time, so I have a lot of pictures in here. But I had created a folder based on the items that I would like in my kitchen. When I was designing my kitchen, basically, I picked and pulled pieces from different areas, and then I'm going to put it all together in a design concept to make sure that it works. So some of these I have collected from Pinterest. Otherwise, they're actual products that I've print screened or done a grab screen from the actual website of the supplier, because these are things that I know that I really want to have in my kitchen. And there might be some things that you have already purchased that you need to work in your kitchen. So everything else is probably what you're going to work around that one focal point. So what we're going to do is we're just going to highlight all of these pictures, and I'm just going to upload them into Canva. And I'm going to create just a new blank sheet for us to start with. So what I want to start with is I'm actually going to start with my range, because I've actually already purchased this. It's a big purchase, but it's the focal point of my kitchen. So there are some things in this kitchen that will be a nice to have, and there are some things in this kitchen which are a must have. And because I have already purchased my stove, it is a must have. So we're going to put that in. So let's click on, so all you need to do is click on the picture and it'll automatically upload into the document that you're working in. Now what we want to do is, as you can see with the green lines surrounding the picture, it is selected. So we want to go up to edit image, and we want to go to remove background. So I'm going to click on that, and that is actually going to remove the background. Now this is an upgraded element or an upgraded benefit. So if you don't have the Canva Pro account, you may not have access to this. So just to let you know, I don't work for Canva. I don't earn any money for this saying this, but this is probably one of the great programs to use. So we're just going to make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to put this here in my picture because it's a focal point. Now, what I'm going to do now is add in the, so I'm going to go back to my uploads, and I'm going to add in my hood. Now this hood, I'm going to take the background off all of my pictures because I just like it's just much cleaner. And it's just much easier to move the items around the page. Now this hood I'm putting in here, it's not actually what I'm going to purchase. I'm actually going to design and build the hood myself. But I picked this because I am going with a copper theme, copper accents with mine. So I do want to have a hood, something similar to this, but I will be designing it. But that is kind of my inspiration piece. But I have a clear idea of what I'm looking to create. Now let's bring in my stone, because this is a big part of my kitchen. So I am going for a quartz stone, and I'm just going, and like part of this is just playing around with it. There's really no right or wrong as far as where you have the items. You can just basically play around with it and make sure it works sort of for you. Now I am going to also add in my lights. So I have some very specific, I have a bit of a shabby kind of preference. I love things to be a bit distressed. So, you know, I really wanted some lights that have a bit of distress on them. So once again, remove the background, and then once it's flickered and the background's removed, then you can start moving the picture around. Now I'm going to just you can make it smaller by clicking on the edges or corners or edges of the item. So as you can see, really, this is just a matter of sort of playing around. And as the pieces come onto the page, you can start to see like, okay, I don't like the look of that. I like the look of this. You know, all of those sorts of things. So I'm just going to move that out like that. And I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to go back to my uploads, and I'm going to bring in some tile that I was thinking for the backsplash. So I'm going to put this up behind the sink. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to position, and I'm going to put it backwards because I want it to sit behind my sink. And then therefore it just feels a little bit better. Okay. Just move that. And then we want to bring in some other elements. So as you can see, I'm starting with the significant design pieces. And so this will really help, like I said, to gain some clarity around, you know, how you're wanting the kitchen to look. So as you can see, it's starting to take shape. Like I can see the cabinetry, I can see it next to like the countertop, the lights. It's all starting to create some cohesion. Now I'm also going to add in some decor items. So, you know, maybe I might want just to soften it up, and this just helps create some more inspiration. So I love this sort of look with the distressed rugs. I love distressed rugs. And it's kind of like country couture, I'm calling my board. And you can flip these around. So if you don't like how the seat is sitting, you can click on flip and it'll flip it horizontally, or it can flip it vertically. So it gives you an idea. You can sort of play around with bits and pieces. The products that I believe that I want to use in my design. And as you can see, it's really sort of taken shape now. So then I like to name my board. So go to the text button and add in some text. Now I like to use, you know, you'll pick up whatever text that you like to use. I like to use Brittany for my main sort of headings. So I'm just going to make that larger by clicking on the plus button and then widen it to make it, there we go, like that. Probably needs to be bigger based on the board. As you can see now, my concept has come together. You can go ahead now and download this picture and save it to your files so that you have it on hand. Upload it to your social media. You can also add other comments in, like, so you can copy and paste this text. And, you know, this is a shaker cabinet. So maybe you want to put some commentary on your concept board. Maybe you want to put some other items of furniture, you know, whatever. Maybe you want to put some particular storage items. So there's some really cute labels and storage items that you can use that you can add into your kitchen, and you know, maybe that's really important to you. So this is the important elements that are going to make up your design concept for your board. But I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. I hope you've enjoyed this bonus lesson on Canva, and happy designing. Thanks so much for watching my tutorial. If you like what you saw, make sure you hit subscribe and hit that little bell, and make sure you add comments below if there's anything in particular that you'd like to hear about. Otherwise, happy renovating and happy designing.